Yeah. So, I was watching the YouTube this morning, and obviously, like I've got, I've got no issue with this raise the flag thing, and I don't know, like, anyway, I thought, let's go have a look at the Office of National Statistics and see things like what's population growth in the UK over the last 10, 20 years or longer. What's the GDP per capita over the same time period? Where are people coming from? That sort of thing. So I went to the Office of National Statistics, but it's really wordy. And then no. So then I thought, well, I'll just try some Wikipedia thing. So, right, so what? Right, so where's this from? Oh, this is an AI. This is from Google. I don't know what AI that is. Significant portion of the population of work. Right. With a median age of. Right, the UK, but yeah, we know that it's aging, right? Yeah. Right, now remember, we need working people to keep paying into the system to fund the pensions for the older people. Right, majority of the population is white, with a notable percentage of Asian, black, and mixed. Yeah, that's fine, that's good. I like that. It's one of the things I like about us. I don't like this. Anyway, key overall, working age. And obviously we need a good chunk of people at working age and for them to be working because, we do have a... So then I can understand why they might be bringing in more migrants, right? Especially working age migrants. We're going to need them. White British. Right, population of 65. Oh, I saw they're going to put up the pension age again, but I think that was to be expected. Specific ethnic groups. White, 81, Asian, 9, Blick, 4, mixed, other. It's not that offensive, is it? Demographics of the... Oh, right, then we go into... Right, yeah, you see, and this is one of the things... All right, I'm going to look at this, right, because it's just mentioned the Commonwealth. And I love the Commonwealth. I think it's something that gave us... I think it's the Queen's, one of her massive, she took the British Empire from the old remnants of the empire and she emphasised the Commonwealth. And, if you want your independence, have your independence, and taking it away from so forget your British imperialism and all of that. I think there was a lot of learning from some mistakes made, and god damn, that woman was amazing. Miss her terribly. Love her very much. Our Queen. Amazing woman. Amazing person. She just happened to be a woman, but god damn, so then she was a mother and a grandmother and a... Wow. Okay, but this is the Commonwealth, and as far as I'm concerned, I think the Commonwealth gives you like a de facto... That's it, you're part of the Commonwealth, that's it, do you know what I mean? Don't you have a British passport? I think you should have a British passport. You want to come here? Yeah, come here. Ain't got no problem with that, okay? I think the issue we've got at the moment is our population, but then when you look at the population, it doesn't... Oh yeah, but this is over a very 1900. Okay, so but these numbers, if we were to put that... Oh, okay, population change, that's better. Yeah. Ooh, we've had a big... Oh. There's the natural change. Ooh, and look at that, the crude migration change. That's spiked. But okay, so where was I coming from with this? Where I was coming from with this is I was like thinking about this. For me, I think it's about the volume of people. And then we can go into all this detail, right? Population, yeah. I think it's about the volume of people, right? And I think that we've taken in more migrants than we can, you know, and that. All right. So that looks like World War One. That looks like World War Two. So that is interesting, actually. That's the sort of okay. So it is my, and that's not much bigger pronounced spikes there around the First and the Second World War, but for some reason, and that's been happening for a period of time. What's this time? Get rid of that. How do I? That time, it's like 2000. Oh, it's probably what, the first Gulf War? First Gulf War, the second Gulf War. Okay, that's interesting. That is. So my issue is I don't think it's. We don't mind migration. I don't think we're the racists that you think we are. Well, I mean, there's always a percentage of wrong uns in every, you know. But the majority of us. Right, so then I thought, well, what about GDP then? Is it, say we've increased the population too quickly? Well, this is population change. So if you look at that, we actually haven't increased the population too quickly. The birth rate, I mean, oh, yeah, natural change. So I don't know, I suppose COVID's in there somewhere as well. So the numbers might have been going down. No, the numbers will go, oh, maybe with migrant. But then it went up. So where are those migrants coming from? I mean, that's not, if you look at the racial distribution, it's not about race. Stop that. Because, and then look at the GDP. So has our GDP per capita, and with purchasing power, because something's wrong here. Oh, these numbers are different. Why are they different? Because, yeah, no, I mean, when I did do a little bit of, it's a lot of wordy here. I'm not even going to pretend that I'm not reading it, you know, I don't. But it was something, right? And did it say about immigration? It was interesting, right? Because it said it's like Romania. So it's not even like, like, you see, there's no good way of saying this. And I'll probably get arrested for this anyway. I mean, at the moment, I haven't said anything. I'm just sharing the Office of National Statistics, because we hear so many people talking about this at the moment. And okay, yeah, where was I coming from? Right, so we need to look at like what the government policy is, because obviously they're doing this, right? But we have an aging population, right? So we need to increase the number of working age people to support the you know, the increased pension payments and stuff, and then also for them to still add into having food, you know what I mean? and then we saw the population, there was a natural decline, so we were bringing more in with immigration. It's just obviously that this, whether it was the Conservative Party for the last however long, I don't know, how long were they in power? Like 20 years or something. Like, thoroughly disappointing. We can talk about that till the cows come home. But whether it was Conservatives in charge or Labour in charge, they seem to have some sort of policy in mind when they're letting people into the country. And they seem to think that the country can absorb it. And, I mean, the reality on the ground is we can't. So this was part of some of the stuff that I found on the, you know, and I'm not going to read all of this, but I was just trying to get like a, well, that's GDP. GDP, they don't show. I'll show that. The main figures, GDP, inflation. Oh, inflation 4.2, that's not helpful either. Right, population and migration. Okay, so population projections. But this goes into like the methodology. It's very detailed. How, okay, internal migration within the UK, population estimates, population projections. Like they've got a policy here. There's a policy here, and there's something that they're, I mean, I'm not going to read all of this, and I'm not even going to pretend to understand all of it, but I suppose my issue is, yeah, we're all racist. Well, I don't think we are racist, I think a lot of us, but then I listen to these people at these protests, right, and they're spouting out stuff. Right, an overview of our plans for the development of population. Now, this is the ONS, the Office of National Statistics. It's not about how the government functions. This is about, but a little bit of education goes a long way. Yeah, statistics. You can do what you want with statistics, and to some extent, you know what I mean. But a little education goes a long way. And somewhere here, when they broke down the UK population, the number of like Romanians came up a lot. It was like, why have we got so many Romanians here? So you think it's, I think it is like, I think we have a moral obligation to potentially the Kurdish people. I think we have a moral obligation to people, certain people in Afghanistan who potentially helped our government or the American government, and they were left there, you know, at the mercy of the Taliban. Okay, so then we're going to get, I've gone off piece. This isn't even, it's just, I suppose the main thing I want to say is, I don't think this is about colour. And yeah, I'm going to be a different kind of racist here, and I'm going to say, like, my big issue is people allegedly seeking asylum from Eastern Europe. Because, okay, Ukraine, you know, but it's not that, my point is there, I'm not trying to condemn this, but do you know what I mean? I wish I could find the thing where it kept popping up with, I don't know why it was Romanian, it kept popping up, but it's not about race. That's the point that I'm trying to say. I think at the moment the general average Joe on the streets, we've seen winter fuel payments get taken away from our parents, our grandparents, the elderly. They're vulnerable at the moment. Veterans, they're vulnerable at the moment. People with disabilities, they're vulnerable at the moment. Children, I think they're probably vulnerable at the moment. It's like, and then it seems like we've bankrupted our own house. We've brought too many, we've tried to be too generous, and we can't provide everything to everybody. And I don't, this whole, asylum seekers, that's one thing. Legal immigration, that's another thing. Illegal immigration, that's another thing. I'm just trying to make sense of it, and like I said, I listen to some of these YouTube things, and there's people at and like, don't get me wrong, right? I don't go out very much, so I don't know what's going on out there and stuff.
Are you filming the boat?
Yeah.
Why?
We don't have this at home.
Really?
I'm trying. I'm very trying. Yeah, we don't have a lot of that stuff up here. Yeah, I am having problems with my device. I've totally, it's given up on me. It only had a small
No problem,
thing
but
anyway,
you can't kiss my...
and I cracked the screen, and anyway. Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
High-performance NVIDIA
So I like
GPUs
these,
from just 69 cents per hour. Power your AI with Sivo.
I need to mute this. I'll mute this. I can't.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, the EDR hasn't existed for the last 10 years.
Yeah, so these people, and I like these, like, on the ground, just somebody just going asking questions, right? And, but then it doesn't matter. I don't know everything, do you know what I mean? But it's that whole thing. I think we've got a lot of assumptions going on. I would, and then that's the other thing. So I would like somebody from this government or the previous government to explain what the overall policy is from this government. But then they both said they want to reduce it. The Conservatives said they want to reduce migration, and they weren't going to, but they didn't. And I think Labour said that, but then they haven't. And so I feel like it's a policy that they have that they're not admitting that they have, and the way that they continue to deal with it, because then we start bringing in things about this raise the flag thing. We're calling each other racists, or and what's the other the police response, it would appear to be, free speech gets affected, and then the police response to tear, and white people potentially feel persecuted. I love bacon. Are you going to arrest me? I don't know, when you were a kid, were you a vegetarian for a while? Well, I was vegetarian for about 6 months. When did I stop being vegetarian? Oh, somebody cooked bacon in front of me. Do I want someone to be arrested for throwing bacon at a mosque? It just sounds like something from Monty Python. It's like, it's disrespectful. I get it, it's disrespectful. Does it qualify as hate speech? It just seems to be like every move the government makes is wrong and just escalates things. Part of being British, it is the Commonwealth. And yeah, that woman, the lady, the presenter here, she happens to be black, and I think where did she say she originates from? She's probably from her parents probably from Windrush, or her grandparents or something. That Windrush You know, like we've made a lot of mistakes as a country. There's something very different happening here. It's not about race. A lot of these, they don't. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Like the numbers don't add up. Do you know what I mean? Like, how many people? If we've taken close to 10 million people in the last 10, 12, 15 years, and then if you imagine that France, Italy, Spain, Germany, okay, and then America and us, say we've all taken 10 million over the last 10, 15 years, it will all even out. So that's 6 countries taking 10 million people over 10 years. So that's 60 million people that have been displaced from somewhere that, like, they're not all asylum seekers, are they? They're not all. So, and that's not basic migration. Okay, there's an increase in, and I get it. But then, what was the population of Syria? How many people are still in Syria? How many people? Afghanistan. Okay, we've got obligations in some of these countries. I'm not denying that. You know, moral obligations. We messed up badly. You know. But those people are probably not the problem, right? And they can probably still prove their identity, prove their connections to, you know, maybe they worked with contractors, maybe they worked with the armed forces, maybe they worked with. They'll have their paperwork in place. But there is a minority. There's always a bunch of wrong ones, and and when our numbers are this big, we've got 300,000 people coming into the country every year, at least, say 500,000. Say you don't know who 10% of them are. What's 10% of 500,000? 50,000. And say 10% of them. Okay, say 1% of them. 1% of them are bad ones, wrong ones. Or just, I mean, okay, 500,000, 1% of wrong ones. What's that? Is that 5,000? Do the 500,000 and then do 10% can't prove who they are. That's 50,000. And then do 1,000%. That's 500. You know what I'm saying? When we're at this scale with these numbers, but there's multiple things happening here. You know, we've got this high level of inflation, GDP per capita, or at least purchasing power parity, whatever, it seems to be dropping. Our services are overwhelmed. We've got too many people in the country. I mean, I know there's that whole thing, oh, we're going to be outbred by Muslims or whatever. That doesn't seem to be the population change. We looked at it, that's not the issue. We seem to have, but then that makes sense. A country would use immigration to increase its population, especially if you have an aging population and you need to bring in young, working people. But then the government needs to tell us what their plan is and what their objective is and what they're actually doing, and just stop lying to us. But this side, that side, whatever, I don't. It's not a good situation. There's no good answer here. Yes, veterans, homeless people, disabled people, elderly. It does seem that there's a purpose to all of this. I'm not sure I'm understanding the purpose. Do I have to listen to a Labour government? I don't have a TV licence. I don't watch the news. What can I tell you? I get all my information from YouTube and then I just try and. I don't know. I'm not big fan of Commonwealth, big fan of immigration. It's necessary, especially in this the demographics that we have in the country at the moment, I don't think we have an issue with racism in this country, or we never did. Yeah, I mean, 100%. Maybe we... But then I've been an expat in other countries, right? And birds of a feather do flock together. What does that look like? Well, not committing crimes. But it's not just a racial thing, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to touch on it, do you know what I mean? I don't want to get arrested. Well, if I can't pay my rent, then that'll be different. Anyway, Office of National Statistics, and just trying to make sense of it. Maybe I'll go and look for some, I don't know, they must have some parliamentary select committee stuff on, like, what is their immigration policy? I'm not going to pretend I'm very confused by it. I don't like the attacks on free speech. I don't like the removal of the flags. Don't understand that. I don't understand what is wrong with putting up a flag. I mean, what would you do if it was World Cup? Is there some international sporting event that we can, where you, and you know, bacon. I love bacon. Come get me. I'm not going to go throw it at a mosque because I think that's disrespectful. I'm not going to go cook it outside a mosque. Well, I don't leave the house, do I? But it's such a difficult situation, and it's like the way that the government seems to be dealing with it, and that's whether it's this one or the previous one, it's completely wrong. It's not helpful. Yeah, I've got more to say, but I can't be bothered. I don't get arrested. Alright, see you later.